everyone. Welcome to Trina Kulik Designs. My name is Trina and I'm the owner and designer here at Trina Kulik Designs, where I teach other creative ladies how to paint, sell, and cut their own wooden door hangers. So today I'm going to be painting a vintage Santa with y'all. Let me move this one out of the way. Oh, I love this one. This was a design that we did in my Inside Scoop. But today I'm going to be painting this one with y'all. This is a vintage Santa. This is one that I created for my Inside Scoop last year. Y'all, I'm always a hot mess. So y'all give me just a minute because I've got red glitter all over my table. Hey ladies. Let me just blow dry it off on my floor. Here we go. We're starting off bad, huh? We're starting off with the blow dryer. But it's alright. It's alright. It's Friday. It's a good day. So we're going to have fun. Thank you, Miss Carrie, for sprinkling. Yeah, if y'all don't mind, hit that little button down below and sprinkle me across the Facebook world. Because everybody needs to know about Trina Kulik Designs and how to paint and cut wooden door hangers. Alright, so first thing, I did post a link if y'all wanted to purchase this template and if you wanted to paint with me, or if you purchase it and you don't have time to cut it, then you can come back and you can watch the replay on this and have a tutorial on how to paint this door hanger. I did even use, this is another idea for you ladies, I did use the same template, except the one I used was a little bit taller and more slimmer. And I also painted it on a porch leaner. So how stinking cute is that, y'all? And I had like the 3D mustache and a 3D little nose on this one. So there's so many different things that you can do with these door hangers instead of just making a door hanger out of these. So if you haven't got the template yet, grab the templates. $5, y'all. Super, super cute and popular. All right. So, and y'all overlook my messy bun going on here? We have, inside of my Inside Scoop, we have our costume Halloween party tonight. And I'm going to be spraying something in my hair. So I'm like, I'm not going to wash it and get all pretty and dazzled up because I'm going to have to rewash it again tonight to get the spray out of it. So, it is what it is. So, I apologize for the mess that I am. Alright, so if you're new to door hangers, I want you to let me know, have you ever painted a door hanger? This is your first time ever being here on Trina Kulik Designs page? Have you, just never ever heard of a door hanger at all? Let me know, because I'm going to kind of show you what you do with these templates once you actually buy them. Because you may not even know, you may not know what a template is or what it's for. So this template, once you get it cut out with your paper, hey Miss Cindy, how do you attach your 3D pieces? Mine will not stay, so frustrating. Miss Becky, I use the Gorilla Glue, the Gorilla Wood Glue, and it stays pretty good with that. If there's certain pieces that, like with those porch leaners and stuff, the wood's thick enough, I may even use a really small, nail like in my nail gun. But most of the time what I'll do is I'll put a little bit of hot glue on it, but I don't ever attach it with just hot glue because hot glue will, y'all, things will pop off with hot glue. And then after I put a little bit of hot glue, like I'll put my wood glue on there. The hot glue is just to kind of give it an instant hold, and it holds it in place while the other wood glue is drying. So yeah. Hey Miss Patricia, hey ladies. Alright, so once you get your paper template cut out, and I'm going to do a live also showing y'all how I get my templates cut out with the paper. I don't use scissors. So, but I do want to share that with y'all on another day. So what you will have to do to actually transfer your design and your inside designs onto your wooden cutout is get you some graphite paper, or some people call it carbon paper. What you're going to do, my wood's kind of warped. This is from last year, y'all, and I've had it leaning up. So that's one thing about wood, if you have it leaning up, sometimes this 1/4 inch wood will warp on your tail. So if there's any way possible, always store your wooden blanks flat. So what you do is you take your carbon paper, hey Miss Grace, and you're gonna put it down onto your wooden piece. Now if you're new, don't even know what carbon paper is, it's just, like an old checkbook. You know how you get the duplicates when you order your checkbooks? And it has, like, it puts your writing on the little paper behind it. It's kind of what this reminds me of. But on these, you have a glossy side and you have a matte side. You always want to put your glossy side, the side that shines, down onto your wood. And then that matte looking dull side is facing towards you. So you're going to put that down onto your wooden piece. These are like 11 by 15 sheets, y'all. I purchased these from Walmart. You can get them from Amazon. I do have like a 24 inch I don't know where it's at, but it's a big solid sheet. I've got it, so I think it might be outside of my building. So what you're going to do next is you're going to place this onto your wooden cutout. Hey, Miss Jill. Hey, Miss Gracie. How are you ladies doing today? It's Friday. And what I like, sometimes y'all, mine gets a little bit off with my cutting because my cutting is not exactly perfect all the time. And that's totally fine. But you're just going to, like, I use my fingers, y'all, to kind of like adjust it and make sure that all of my cuts and my wooden piece is like straight lined up with my paper piece. Because sometimes, that graphite paper is going to kind of cover your whole wooden piece and you're going to kind of get lost and be like, well, I can't see where my wood goes now. So you're going to just kind of use your hands and fingers and stuff to line your paper up with your wood. All right, you can take a pen, a stylus, whatever you've got, and what you're going to do now is you're going to trace on the lines of your inside designs for this cutout. All right, so like his little hat part here is right here, so we're just going to trace it. And the thing about this, if you're tracing it and later on, when you start painting, you want to change it up, that's totally fine. You can change it up if you want to. So you're just going to kind of put a good bit of pressure because you don't want it to be so light till you can't see it. And you're just going to trace all of your inside cuts. I like using a pen because it marks, I can see where I've already been. Versus a stylus, you really can't see where you've been. We're going to draw his eyes here. His little eyebrows up here where the star goes. Let's just go ahead and let's kind of draw that out. The top of this hat here. And like I said, if this is not perfect, y'all, when you start to paint it, you can kind of adjust it to get it kind of like where you want it. All right. Then we got his little beard. His beard's going to come from here. It's going to come down. I'm kind of rearranging this just a little bit. And that's his beard. All right, then you got his little sleeves here. His little sleeve here. And this is all you're going to do. You're going to trace it. And while you're tracing it, that carbon paper, it is transferring it onto your wood. So then you're kind of like painting by number. Y'all, this is my day 5 of lives. I honestly do not know if I've ever been live for 5 days straight, y'all. So this is going to be like a record for me with doing lives. I mean, seriously, I have never went 5 days straight with lives. All right, we about got this. We're about done with the tracing part anyway. All right. Let's see. I mean, we can put a little line there because, you know, it's there, so why not? But then you can do your little lines in your boot there, but the black's going to cover it. All right, so now what you do, you remove your paper piece, and then you remove the carbon paper, or the graphite paper. And, let's see, so this has got his little beard. Comes there. Now, y'all, check this out. Now you can paint by numbers. How stinking cool is that? How stinking cool is that? Hey, Miss Gina. Hey, Miss Sherry. Hey, Jessica. How are y'all ladies doing? I know, day 5. So if this amazed you and you've always wondered how people gets their, you know, like the inside lines, if you don't get them actually etched, this is the secret, y'all. Using graphite paper to trace your inside designs. Hey, Carrie. All right. We're going to get started. So, this was one reason I was late, y'all. Look at all of these paint brushes that I had to rinse off. I had to rinse all these out because they've been sitting in water for a couple weeks. Who is blowing the horn outside? Sorry, y'all. There's somebody outside blowing the horn. Somebody here to get sweet potatoes. I know, isn't it, Jessica?
My mom was outside, Mom.
Go ask him how many boxes did he want.
Ask him how many boxes he wants.
I'm just trying to find what brush I want to use, y'all. Sorry. All right. So we're going to start with his red suit here, and then his red hat. So I'm going to use my primary red. Going to get a paper plate. My gracious. Let me lift this up so I can kind of see. Hey, Betty Joe. I meant Peggy Joe. I said Betty Joe. Peggy Joe. All right, so I'm going to use Deco Art Primary Red. And I'm going to go around, like, all of the white on his sleeves and on his hat, around his buttons. Going to go over everything or around everything that is going to be a different color. All right, so I've got a... I don't know. 3/4 inch angle brush. Let's start with his hat. So I'm just going to apply the paint and I'm going to go around where his hat's at, y'all. Just like that, nothing crazy. And this is a vintage Santa. So we're going to do some antiquing on him and make him look like he's a old Santa. So we're just going to go ahead and put a good coat of red on his hat. I'm not going to get my edges. I'm actually kind of trying to get away from doing my edges. I'm going to go ahead and put another good coat on there, but I'm not going to cake it up too much because I don't want to have a lot of paintbrush strokes going on. And I like to take my brush and kind of like do long strokes to get all of those paintbrush strokes off of my paint, because if you don't, like when you put paint on there, it will leave lines on there, y'all. Hey, Miss Jerry, hey, Miss Diane, and Miss Kathy, Miss Linda, Miss Tamara. So I always just kind of like go over it with long strokes to kind of help prevent that. Also, since I'm not going to be painting my edges, I like to kind of like, when I get on my edges, brush off of my board versus pulling it from the end of my board onto my piece. Because when you pull it in, all that paint on your bristles it's going to take up on your edges. So, all right. I'm even going over, and I'm probably going to go over where his buttons are too, because those are going to be black, and black can cover this red really good, y'all. So just to make it to where it's a little bit more easier, we're just going to paint over all of that. Even his gloves. The thing is with this graphite paper, you can still see it through that red paint. I don't know if you can see it through on the camera or not. So we're going to just paint this whole piece. I'm kind of caking up my paint on here. There's a, I wonder if that man's getting potatoes or what. It never fails, y'all. If I come live, something's gonna go on. Never fails. The only thing I do want to avoid is getting that red where my white's gonna be, because white, y'all, red bleeds through white so bad. So if you can avoid that, I would try my best to avoid that. There's another clunk. All right. Now we're kind of doing long strokes. Go around where his white puff is going to be. White, what you call it, y'all? Fuzz on a Santa suit. Okay, there's Joey. Okay. I'm not even, I'm going to go around where his boot's at, but I'm not going to try to be like extra careful, because his boots are going to be black. And the black's going to cover the red. So you don't have to sit there and be super careful with that, and avoid trying not to get none of it on there, because it's totally okay. Why make it harder than what it really is? And you can still see that graphite paper coming through, so you'll know exactly where your boots need to be. All right, this is where we're going to do the long strokes, just to get some of those paintbrush strokes out of our paint, just to smooth it out, because painting looks so much better if it's smooth and just clean looking. Any questions? Hey, Lori. Hey, Miss Anna and Miss Judy. How are y'all ladies doing? All right, so we're going to come up here and we're going to put one more coat onto his hat here. I'm trying to make sure I'm painting off of my wood so I can avoid getting any. Somebody's shooting something. So I can avoid getting any of that red paint on my edges. Somebody is shooting away. And the thing is, this is a vintage Santa, so you don't have to make sure everything is exactly perfect, y'all. That's one thing I love about painting stuff vintage. I have found so many clumps in my paint also. Miss Sandy, mine's been terrible lately. Would the graphite show through it if you have to do 2 coats? Yes, because, and the reason mine's showing up, Miss Sandy, is because I pressed down super hard on mine. If you're doing lighter colors, like if I was doing this red and my, like, I'm going to be doing, like, where his shirt's at here. I don't know if y'all can see this. You can. See how that graphite is coming through here? Well, I'm not going to be, like, doing another color there. So even if I put another coat, it's probably going to come through. And that's okay, because I know I'm going to take, like, a black and cover that graphite line up anyway. So if you're doing an area to where it needs to be covered, then you probably do not want to press quite as hard when you're tracing it on there with your graphite paper. And that will help your paint be able to cover that graphite paper up better. I just knew, you know, that with this design especially, that even if my red didn't cover it, like where my sleeves were going to be, I was going to definitely, you know, be covering it anyway with my black. Or with with black and a darker red. So that kind of just depends on, like, I guess what you're painting. Like if I wasn't going to put anything there, then I would have let up off of my pressure when I was tracing it. So that graphite paper wouldn't have been quite as dark. Is that making sense? I'm sorry if it's not. I hope I'm making sense, y'all. Sometimes it's so hard for me to explain certain things. So I'm just putting one more coat on here, and then we're going to move on because this is going to do it. All right, we're going to spread that out really good. Do our long strokes to take away all of those ridges that comes from our paintbrush. Just smoothing it out. I love smooth paint, y'all. I love my pieces to be smooth and don't have any of those strokes going on. All right. So there we go. Hey, Tammy. Yes, it makes sense. All right. Okay, so I think I'm gonna pull y'all. Can y'all see this good, or does it seem like it's like really far away? I feel like it's really far away. So y'all may not can see me, but that'll be all right. As long as y'all can hear me, then we should be good to go. But I do want to still be able to see y'all's comments. Okay, I think I'm good. All right, so I think we're gonna be done with our red because it looks pretty good. I'm just gonna take my red paintbrush I just used, kind of just wipe a lot of that red off. Ooh, I got pumpkins flying everywhere. So I'm gonna grab one of my favorite reds, if I can find it, if I've still got it. Where's my flamenco red? Real red. Oh my goodness, are you telling me I'm out of flamenco red, y'all? That is not good. And I'm not seeing flamenco red. So I guess what I'm going to have to do is take a little bit of black and darken my red up to make a flamenco red. So if you bought this template, be writing these colors down as I say them. I love him. I'm getting template now. Yay, Gina. So glad to see you painting live again. I'm working on, let me see. What are you working on, girlfriend? Miss Jenny. It won't let me see more. Let me see more. Facebook. Okay, there we go. I'm working on your Grinch hand. Ooh, so exciting. Need to know what you use for the chain and how you attach it. Miss Jenny, I had bought some little small links from Walmart, I think. I might have, when I get done with this, remind me and I'll show you. I may, if I've got a thing of it, I may have what I used over there. So I'm going to put way too much black in here. Good Lord. I definitely put too much black. When you're mixing colors, y'all, if you're doing black, it does not take much black at all. At all. So we're fixing to have a whole heck of a lot of paint going on here because I'm fixing to put red all in there. But I had drilled holes in my my ornament part and my hand part and used that chain. Putting a whole lot more red, y'all. I should have just mixed some more instead of doing it like this and having all this paint, but We've already started now. All right, so we got kind of just a darker red. And we're going to use this darker red to outline where his little pockets are at. So this is kind of like, oh Lord, I'm getting ahead of myself. I got to do the checks. So I'm getting ahead of myself. So before I even continue doing that, we're going to put some checks on here. And I'm going to use a different color than this. Let me get, oh, look at there. Flamingo red right here, y'all. I'm telling you. Today started out really good. Now it's going to mess me up on my live here. Hey, Miss Dawn. It only takes a drop, and I always seem to add too much. Me too, Lori. I go crazy with my black. So here's flamenco red, y'all. So I'm going to use this flamenco red, and I'm going to just do some freehand, kind of like buffalo plaid. But it's not going to be exactly buffalo plaid. We're just going to kind of like put a plaid pattern on this with this flamenco red. I'm going to use that same paintbrush, the same 3/4 inch angle brush, and I'm going to go over where his buttons are going to be, over where his pocket's going to be. I'm going to go over everything except where his white's at. I'm just going to kind of start here and kind of draw a straight line. And we're going to do that until we, you kind of get the width of, that you want. We're going to do one here. Can y'all see that? And I'm kind of just eyeing this, y'all. I'm straight eyeing it, so it may not be exactly perfect. There's some more daggone clumps, but that's okay, because that's, this is our work. This is what we're doing. It don't have to be perfect. Let's put one like right here. Since I've already got my pocket there, I'm kind of going over it just a tad bit. All right, then we're going to put one about right here on the edge. All right, see how simple that was? Straight lines just going on his suit there. Real life crafting, that's for sure. And now we're just going to kind of go across it. And this is just putting a really quick, fun pattern, plaid looking kind of pattern on his suit for us. It's not really buffalo plaid. So we're just going to call it a fun little plaid. And that's going to be it. So clump there. All my paint's getting clunky. Maybe I need to paint some more to get all these paint boogers out of my paint. See how easy this is, y'all? You know why it's so easy? Because I'm just going with it. I'm not trying to measure it to make sure it's exactly perfect. Because it definitely does not have to be. All right, let's come up here and we're going to put one right there. This is easy, easy, easy painting here, y'all. See how easy and simple that is? And it just puts a fun little pattern. Can y'all see that? That glare kind of gets it a little bit on there. Hey, Gabby. Hey, Katina. All right, so up here on the top, we're going to use that same flamenco red, and we're just going to put a dot. We're going to put dots. Yeah, I was trying to count those, but it doesn't matter. So I'm just going to kind of start here. These are going to be kind of like big dots. And then fill it in. I'm probably not going to put a second coat, y'all. Just because this is like a vintage Santa. So, we're going to make it look like that dot's coming there. We're going to make it look like there's a little dot. There's a dot here. So just like that. Can y'all see those dots? Just like that, some big old chunky dots. Well, welcome Miss Sandy. All right, so we got our plaid going on, we got our dots going on. We're gonna give this a quick little dry, then we're gonna come back with that darker red that I mixed up, and we're gonna do his pockets with that. All right, so let's give it a quick dry. Thank you, Miss Lori. Quick blow dry. You gotta love the blow dryer. Be good enough. I'm going to use my same paintbrush. I'm just going to kind of get it off of there. I'm going to go into that darker red. I actually like, I don't know, y'all. I'm going to put a little bit more black. Just to kind of really darken that up and give it a like a burgundy look. We're going to go around where his little pocket's at. Fill that in. And I'm not freehanding this. I can still see my graphite paper, y'all, where I traced it from the get-go. So, not freehanding it. I'm going by my graphite paper lines so I can see through my red paint. Kind of got happy there, but it's all right. All right, so there's his little pockets. How cute. All right, so I am going to grab a smaller brush, and I'm going to go up here like where his sleeves are at. I'm going to take that darker color, this burgundy red that we just did his pockets, and we're going to just kind of make his sleeves just like that. Going to come here and kind of make that there. Up here on his hat, you know, he's got like a little crease going on there, a little crease going there. Just kind of putting a little bit of details going on there just to separate his arms, so you can kind of see where his sleeves are at versus his coat. See how simple and easy that is? Hey Tracy, hey Miss Judy, hey Miss Debbie, Christy. Okay. So I think we're done with our red. I'm probably going to put one more coat on his pockets really quick. Let's dry those real quick. Because anytime you're putting a second coat, if you're putting it on there while it's still wet, you're basically just moving that paint around, and the color underneath is going to start popping through in different places. So go ahead and just give it a quick little dry, and then you can put your second coat on there. All right. Because what will wind up happening is you will probably get a little bit aggravated because your color underneath is popping through, and you know, you're thinking, you know, I've got the paint really thick and it's still just coming, you know, that other color's popping through. Well, that's why, because you're just moving that paint around. You're not letting it dry and then putting another coat on there, and that's what will cause it. All right, we're going to go ahead and we're going to put a coat of paint on his face here. I'm going to use this Sunkissed Peach by Apple Barrel. Remember, if you're painting this, be jotting these names down so then you will be able to have your color list when you go to get your paint. So we did the primary yellow, we did the flamenco red, and then we also did the black with the primary red to make that burgundy looking color. Okay, I'm going to flip this around, and I'm going to get his face here. I'm actually going to get another plate because that one's kind of crazy with the red. This Sunkissed Peach, y'all, to me, it's kind of chalky feeling. So just kind of be a little bit careful with that. I wish I had a knob. If I had, I'm gonna check and see if I got a knob, y'all. If I've got a knob, I may just do his nose. Do his nose 3D nose. You don't have to be super careful with this color, y'all, because you're going to be able to cover it up with white. White's going to cover this Sunkissed Peach up really easy. So you don't have to be super careful. Like where his mustache is at, I just kind of like went ahead and went down. I can still see my graphite line through there, so I know exactly where my mustache needs to be. This definitely needs another coat. I'm going to go see if I've got a knob, y'all. Instead of actually doing his nose, let me see. Y'all give me a second. I'm plundering. Well, shoot. Guess what, y'all? Alright, so I found a knob. When I say knob, this is a wooden circle, but it's flat on one end. I'm going to get him a 3D nose. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to take my Sunkissed Peach, and I'm going to go ahead and paint that knob. And this way I can show you too how to do it with the Gorilla Glue. This is what I was using for that, was it you, Miss Lori? Someone was asking what I did my 3D pieces with. It's the Gorilla Wood Glue. Love that. Love it, love it. Really has worked well for me. So I'm just coming and I'm putting a coat of that Sunkissed Peach onto this wooden knob. You can buy these from Hobby Lobby. This was an extra one. One I just had in there that I just found. So it wasn't in a pack, y'all, so I can't really tell you how big this is. And once that dries, I'm going to have to go over the top. Alright, so we're going to come here. We're going to put one more coat on top of this. And that's one thing about these door hangers, y'all. You don't have to be original with them. You can kind of just add your own little touches, add 3D elements to them, and y'all make them unique. Try things, and that's the thing is you don't ever know how something's gonna look unless you try it. Hey, Crystal, Mr. Dale, Vicky, Rita, Miss Faye, how are y'all ladies doing? Gonna give it a good little dry just to make sure we don't have to put another coat on there. And I think that's good because we're going to antique this out. Oh, I put that in there and I still got to do his nose. So I'm going to put a coat right there on the top. That's going to probably have to have one more coat. Alright, so let's move on. Any questions so far about this? How easy is this looking so far? It's not a hard design at all. So if you have not got this design yet, jump over there to TriniKulikDesigns.com, get you this printable design, cut it out, then you're going to have the tutorial to come back and watch. Hey, Miss Tracy. Hey, Miss Shirley. How are y'all ladies doing? All right, so our next step's going to be is we're going to go ahead and get his white beard, his white mustache, and all the other things that needs to be white. No, we're not. We're going to go ahead, because I like to, the little white is on top of his gloves. So I'm going to go ahead and get the black first. So that's what we're going to do. I'm trying to jump ahead again, y'all. Alright, so I'm going to draw. This is the little 5/8 paintbrushes, triangle handle paintbrushes from Walmart, y'all. These are amazing. If you're a beginner, start off with these brushes. Once you realize how great they are, oh, look what I just did. You will really, really love them. They're not my favorite brushes, but they are brushes that I use. I use them a lot. My favorite brushes are Master Touches. The Master Touch brushes from Hobby Lobby. But they're sold individually and they are pretty pricey. Sorry, I had to go shut my door. Alright, so we're going to start with our black. We're going to add the black onto his little mittens here. Straight line there. We're going to go around where the white is going to be on his little coat there. Just spread that out and smooth it out. We're going to get the other arm here. Going to do a straight line there. Do the little fuzz. This wood is that Revolution plywood. And it is not the best. It's got like some grains, some indentions. Alright, so we're going to come down here and we're going to do his boots. We're going to go up. And we're just going to fill his boots in here. These are touching, so in between there, it's kind of like going to go together. I'm having to kind of like go over it, like really press because of the way this wood is. Again, I'm not hand drawing this. I can still see where my graphite paper left the marks at for me. So to give this a little bit more dimension and to bring these boots out a little bit more so you can kind of tell what they are. Because right now it just looks like there's a blob of black paint sitting there. Hey, Miss Kay, I'm going to get a little bit of white and make me a little bit of a gray color. So I'm just going to put some white right here. I'm going to mix it with the paint that's already on my paintbrush. I'm going to try to get some of that black off though. And just kind of mix it with that to make a gray color. See how kind of black kind of goes a long ways, y'all? You don't have to use much black at all. Alright, so I'm going to go up around like the top of my boot. Just like that. Very simple and easy. Just like that. And now we're going to kind of like go around like that. But we're going to take our black and we're going to blend that in now. One reason I'm having to do this because this brush was a little bit too big for that, but we're going to make it work. So we're blending in with the black. We're going to blend that in. I'm going to just blend it in. Just like that. Now we're going to come back and do the top of the boot there. And then add more black here. We're going to add a little bit more black in this boot. by just blending it. A little bit more black. That's the secret with blending and shading. You just have to keep on adding and stuff until you get it to kind of look the way you want it to look. You don't want to overthink it. And you don't want to waste a lot of time on it. So we're about to move on because I think that turned out pretty super cute. We see how it kind of like defined those boots a little bit. I don't know if it's showing up too well in the video. All right, so now let's get some of that gray off, and we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna do our buttons. Our buttons are gonna be black. You know what I need to do? Let me grab that darker color, that darker red, y'all. I've got an angle brush here, a smaller brush. I'm gonna do the line here, 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 and here. Just like that. Now I'm going to come and I'm going to do my buttons. These buttons are just regular little circles. Little circles. All right, then we kind of have like a little half of a circle here where that button's at. Just like that. So there's our buttons. Hey, Melissa. Is it Melina? Miss Sharon, how are you ladies doing? I got something there. All right, let me see. Is that everything that needs to be black? It is for right now, besides his eyes. But that's all right. All right. So now let's move on to the white. All right. So, well, we're not going to do white because this is a antique, vintage looking Santa. So we're actually going to use antique white. So we're going to use antique white to do our beard and stuff with. My husband's outside, y'all, with the kids practicing pitching. So if y'all hear anything, y'all overlook it. All right. So I'm going to come and I'm just going to start putting my antique white. This is by Apple Barrel. And I'm just going to start going over where his hair is going to be at. Clunks everywhere in every one of my paint. Started to go in the wrong color. All right, gotta smooth that out. Smoothing it out. Any questions so far? We're gonna, ooh, my black button's probably not quite dry yet. I'm gonna get in those cracks on this in this wood for some reason. I don't know where those cracks, why this wood's got those cracks going on. Stay informed now. Stay in line with your target. You know what? I think I want this beard to be a little bit more pointier. There we go. That looks a little bit better. And we're going to smooth it out. Gonna smooth it out. I need to play some music so y'all don't hear him out there fussing with the kids. one of those hardcore daddies when it comes to baseball, and he, Lord have mercy. He drives me crazy sometimes. All right, so we want to make sure that we're going to pull out that mustache a little bit, y'all, more than the beard. Thank you, Miss Kay. Yeah, I love this one too. So I'm going to grab this light mocha. This light mocha is from Apple Barrel as well. I'm just going to get the very corner of my angle brush right here, and we're going to go and we're going to kind of like outline his mustache. And this is just going to make that mustache stand out from the rest of his beard. See how it's making it stand out a little bit from his beard? Alright, so we got to grab some and get on this corner and bring it down. And I'm using that same paintbrush that I did with the antique white. So it kind of helps with the blending of the paint. And if it starts to dry on you, you can use some water, or you can go ahead back with that original color and kind of just blend it together. All right. So that's kind of standing out. Oh, my black. A little bit too much, so I want to tone that down a little bit. So I'm going to grab my original paint that I started with, which is that antique white, and we're going to kind of like go over it just to kind of like bring it together so it don't pop out quite as bad. So we're just grabbing that antique white. We're going to go over what we just did with that light mocha. So we're going to do it down here at the bottom. Oh, do y'all hear him? I'm telling you. So embarrassing. So. So we're just kind of blending it. Blending that light mocha with the antique white so it don't pop out quite as bad. Do you see how that's kind of making it blend in a little bit more so that light mocha's not popping out quite as hard at you? Hey, Miss Teresa. Hey, Tammy. Oh, thank you. Is it Cole? All right. If you want to do that around like the rest of his beard, you know, you totally can. And I think I am. And just going to kind of like blend it in. Kind of like this. And I'm just getting the corner of my paintbrush in that light mocha and kind of like just blending it in there. Not doing a heavy coat. As I said that, I just did a heavy coat on that one. And we're just kind of like going around the edge, and then we're going to come back with the original color, y'all, and same thing we did with the mustache. Just kind of like start blending it and make it to where it don't pop out at you quite as much. All right, now we're going back in with the antique white. That's got a paint booger in it. All of my paint's getting paint boogers, y'all. I don't know. Maybe I need to start painting more. I'm letting my paints like sit up a little bit too long without using them. All right, so now we're just kind of like doing the whole blending process here with these two colors. With that light mocha and that antique white. We're not going to touch this mustache. We're going to kind of like go underneath it, but not button it. We're just going to just go underneath it without touching it at all. And kind of just smoothing it out. Because no matter what, we want to keep it smooth. And we're just going over the top of it, but we don't want to completely cover that light mocha because we still want it to pop out a little bit. All right, do y'all see that? See how it's just popping out just a little bit, but not much? My husband was like that with the kids' baseball too. Miss Sandy, he's terrible. He's terrible. It's awful. All right, so I guess we're gonna do white. On my porch leaner, I actually got his fuzz that goes on his suit, this antique white as well. Maybe I can mix the white with the antique white and maybe give it a little bit of a different shade. Let's try that and see if that'll work. So I mixed the white with the antique white just to kind of give it a little bit of a different shade, because I don't want it white. I want it to be, you know, old and rustic looking. So now we're going to come up here and we're going to start his fur that's going to be on his hat. Yeah, Joey sometimes takes it a little bit too serious though. And I take it serious too, but not quite like he does. And it drives me crazy sometimes, as hard as he is on the kids. Because that's just it. They're kids. They're not little pro baseball players or softball players. They are kids. All right, can y'all see the difference with that white and his beard? His beard. It's not bright white, but it's definitely a different color than his beard there. Oops, okay. So we're gonna go up here where his red's at and go ahead and put our white there. And now we're just gonna fill it in and try to smooth it out. This is definitely getting those little creases that this wood has got. That's why I love birch. Birch is so smooth, y'all. So smooth. I don't have to worry about trying to get in no cracks or anything with birch. Okay. We're going to come down here and we're going to get his little sleeve part. I think I'm going to have to get a smaller brush real quick for this part. So I'm going to grab a smaller brush. I'm not quite sure what size this is. And we're going to get his sleeves here. So it goes up. And then we've got a loop, and a loop. We got a loop, and a loop. Alright, so there's that one. And now we're going to get this one. So we've got a loop, and a loop. Alright. And don't stress over this either, because we're going to put like a outline on these. Alright, so we're going to give these, I've got like too big of a ridge of paint on my loop right there. So I'm just going to kind of expand those loops, make them a little bit bigger. Alright, so we're going to give these a quick little dry. She makes it look so easy. Oh, thank you, Carrie. Thank you, Regina. I appreciate that so much. Thank y'all for sticking with me and watching. Y'all don't forget to sprinkle the video for me. We're going to give this a quick dry because we do have to do one more coat on these. His face is pretty simple, y'all. It's a simple face with little just round, oval looking eyes. And that's it. And then we're going to glue his nose on there. We're going to do the outline. I mean, it's about done. another coat up here at the top. Remember, we're going to come back and we're going to antique this up. So if your wood still shows a little bit, it's not, well, not your wood, your graphite paper. Because sometimes it does, y'all. Like I'm still seeing it up under this. It's not a big deal because we're going to outline it anyway with some black. All right. Okay. Any questions so far, y'all? We're going to do one more coat. So we're done with the white. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in there. Going to do one more coat on his sleeves. And we're going to antique all of this up, y'all. Why is that doing that? I don't want that clump there. With like a chip brush with some brown. So that's going to be super fun. Who loves using a chip brush to kind of antique over things? I know I do. All right. Dun, dun. All right. So let's see what else we want to do. Let's see what our next step's going to be. Let's go ahead and let's do our eyes. Y'all, I'm gonna do his eyes with a paint marker. Just because it's easier and it's faster. So I'm gonna use my black paint marker. And I'm gonna come right here and I'm going to draw some little oval looking eyes. And fill it in. See how simple and easy? Where did I get blue from? There's blue, y'all. Where did I get blue from? I don't know. These are just simple little eyes, y'all. I think one thing with mine, when it comes to the eyes, is my hardest thing is actually get them to be the exact same size. But just match them up the best that you can and roll with it. Then we're gonna do like little cute little eyebrows going on there. Yeah, that's got to match up a little bit better than that. Sorry, y'all, if my head's in the way. Carrie, my star button. I think you have to apply for that, but I'm not sure. And then you have to like change your page to some kind of gaming thing. And I haven't done none of that. But thank you for asking that. Alright, so his eye didn't turn out exactly the way I want them. But I'm not going to mess with them no more because the more you mess with them, I'm going to wind up having two big old eyeballs taking up his whole face. Alright, I'm going to get this Cameo Pink here. And I am going to give him a little bit of some some rosy cheeks. I'm just going to use my finger here. Going to get a little bit of paint on my finger. And going to just kind of like dab it. And kind of like rub it in. Just to kind of like give them some rosy looking cheeks. This don't have to be perfect because this is a vintage Santa, so that's what's going to make him so unique and just cute. If you feel like that's too dark, grab you a little bit of that vintage white on your finger, kind of go over it and kind of blend it in a little bit. And that'll help tone that down just a little bit if that pink's a little bit too dark for you. I kind of like that pink on there. I kind of like that, y'all. All right, so what do y'all think so far? How stinking cute. My eyes are a little bit warped up. But hey, I think it's still cute. All right, so now, y'all, all we got to do is we're going to glue his nose. But I think I'm going to wait till last to glue his nose. let's do the outlining and stuff. Let's see. No, we're going to antique them up first. We're going to antique them up first. So I want you to grab you, I was going to say a chip brush, and now I don't even have a chip brush up here. Well, ain't that something, y'all? Oh, yes, I do. Haha, yes, I do. An old chip brush. This has got all kinds of paint going on in there, y'all. So we're going to antique this up. But when you antique this up, you want to make sure that everything is dry. So what we're going to do is we're going to come with the blow dryer. We're going to make sure that our beard, and because I know my little hat thing's not completely dry, you're going to make sure it's completely dry. I am going to paint the star, Miss Sandy. So I'm going to paint it with that liquid gold. So I'm going to leave that to last. Have you ever heard of the liquid gold? It's in this little container. I love this. Thank you, Miss Regina. So we're going to make sure it's good and dry because we don't want to smear any of our color. Oh, one other thing we got to do, y'all, is I got to do like the stitches. So I'm going to use this right here. I used a 5M for my eyes, and I'm going to use this 3M. These are Posca pens, y'all, paint pens. And I'm going to put the stitches on his little pockets here. So we're going to put just little lines to make it look like he's got, you know, that it's stitched on there. Let's see, did I go on that side? I didn't. So we're just going to do little lines to stitch them up. Doesn't have to be perfect. Don't overthink it. They're not exactly all the same. That's just fine. Let's come around it. There we go. Did I do anything else? I don't think I did. I think that was just about it. All right, so let's try that really quick. You know what I did? We're gonna make this red even darker. So we'll grab that black, and we're gonna make this red even darker. Let me grab a little bit more. And I have like some darker red, kind of, what I'm gonna try to do is get a lot of that off. We're gonna kind of dry brush this, like on the pocket here. On his suit here. This is kind of just giving a kind of a rustic look to y'all. Just in certain places. We're going to come up there on the hat. We're going to grab it some on the hat. Let's see. Let's kind of go a little bit there, a little bit there, there, maybe there. Maybe like up under the pocket just a little bit. Just very wispy up under that pocket. Kind of like going with the actual design, the plaid that we did on here. All right. Did y'all see that? See how that made it kind of look, bring it together? And you see his little stitches? So that kind of made it a little bit more vintage. Give that a quick little dry. Hey, Miss Marilyn. Thank you, Taylor. All right. I think we're dried enough. Now what we're going to do. All right, I'm going to grab espresso. You can use any kind of brown you want to use. I'm just going to grab up this espresso. It's not, well, I say I was going to grab this espresso, but it obviously got some paint boogers up in there too, and it ain't going to come out. Okay. Yeah, look at that. Definitely a sign my butt needs to paint more often, because when all of your paint is drying up on you, that's a good sign you're not doing it enough. Alright, so Deco Art Espresso. I'm gonna take that chip brush. This is not a new one. This has got like dried up paint on there. It's not been like really cleaned and since the day I bought it. We're gonna get just a little bit of that espresso. We're gonna get most of that off. We're gonna start from our edges and kind of like just pull it down, and we're gonna pull this down, y'all, over his face, over everything. His beard. And you're just gonna start like going up and down. This is just gonna give it that old antique-y look. I don't like the way that kind of look like lines, but it went on that way, so now I'm really going to start pressing it. I'm going to get a little bit more, and we're just going to kind of like bring that brown and make this look old and vintage. His beard, everything, y'all. We're putting it in everything. Some of you may not like this. Some of you might be thinking, oh, you totally just messed it up. And that's okay. If you don't want yours to look old and vintage, skip this step completely. Don't worry about doing this step. But I want this to look like an old, rugged out, dirty up Santa Claus that has been down way too many chimneys and needs a break. It's time to retire. I'm even going to take it and kind of bounce it in places like on his beard, his mustache, just to kind of like, ooh, getting too happy. Put a little bit more brown in those spots. Up here. We're really going to rag them out, y'all. All right. Vintage Santa. Looks old and ruggedy. Thank you, Donna. All right, so our next step is going to be, and I'm not even going to, I don't rinse this out. A lot of times I just do this to get, some of the paint off, and that's all I do. That's it. Put it back over there in my bucket. All right, I did notice I did forget to put, sorry, excuse me. Some, kind of highlights, white highlights in his thing here, or gray. So we're going to grab that gray that we mixed up for his boot down there, y'all. And we're just going to come, and we're going to kind of do his little buttons. If you want to, you can do the little 4 dots if you want that to, to look like little real buttons or something. You can do dots. We're just going to put one here and one there. That's going to just have 3 because the other one's going up under his beard. All right. If you want to define his little hands a little bit more, just take that gray and just kind of play along with it. We're going to take that gray and kind of try to define his boots a little bit more by adding just a little bit of kind of little lines. Almost like we're just highlighting these areas with this gray. All right, y'all see what happened there? Kind of brought those boots out a little bit more. The buttons and the hands. Thank you, Jessica, Miss Peggy, and Miss Carrie. Hey, Donna. All right. Let me see what else we got to do with him. We got to do his black outline. So let's go ahead and let's put this liquid gold on his star. The thing with this liquid gold, y'all, is it is very, very thin. And you do have to rinse your brush out with a paint thinner for this. So I probably wouldn't use your absolutely favorite brush because it probably put a lot of wear and tear on it after a while. All right, so we're just going to apply that. Don't tell me my liquid gold's even getting some paint boogers up in it. All right, so we're just gonna put that on here. This liquid gold would be pretty too, y'all. Like to highlight some of, like to put it on his suit. I need that to be a little bit more pointy. There we go. Ta-da. All right, y'all see that? Have you ever used liquid gold, y'all? It is like the shiniest thing. Why is this picture just not good at all? It is so shiny. So shiny. Woo! All right, so there's his star. Let's see if we can. Yeah, I mean, you can totally put some of this liquid gold, y'all, in that. Kind of adds just a little bit of sparkle. It adds some sparkle, y'all. So why not do it? We can put some in his beard, mustache, put it everywhere. Put it everywhere. All right. Now we're gonna do our black outline. And then y'all, he will be done. By the way, I need to put the white dot. I'm not gonna put a white, I'm gonna put this antique white right there for his eye. So there we go. There's his little eyes. Easy, easy, easy. All right, so I'm putting that paintbrush that I used, that liquid gold, into the paint thinner here. And I'm just gonna let it sit in there for, to be honest, probably a week, but not intentionally. So I'm gonna grab my tulip paint, and I'm gonna do some wispy little outlines with this tulip paint. I'm not gonna try to make these perfect. Just gonna kind of like go around in certain areas. If you've never used tulip paint before, you probably should practice with it for the first time and just kind of get the feel of it. So with this right here, this is what's gonna break everything up and make everything kind of just come together, y'all. Oh, thank you, Miss Stephanie. So I like to kind of get all my paint down at the bottom. I got some red. Go ahead and get it going. And then I'm just gonna come and wispily, like whisper. Am I saying that word right? Is Katina still on here? Katina, what kind of word am I trying to say? Wispily, wispily. What is that word, y'all? And we're gonna just kind of like define all of the shapes with this black. It's not gonna be perfect because we're not trying to make it perfect. And I'm not like keeping it one solid line. I'm kind of just kind of going with the flow. Alright, let's do this little on there. I think that's about it. We can do his little star, just to make it look more vintage looking. Oh, we got to do right here. Just like that. Alright, ladies, I think we are done. We're going to glue his nose, and we have our vintage Santa. So you see how that tulip paint just kind of like brought it all together, y'all? How stinking cute. All right, so I'm going to take my, and mine's all messed up, y'all. I let my paint, my glue dry in there. So I'm going to grab this, and I'm going to grab probably just the end of my paintbrush here. Grab some of that glue, put it on the edge there. this dries kind of clear. It's not exactly clear, but it's clear enough. And that's what I'm going to use on there. So I'm going to just stick it right there. We're going to let that dry. And that's cute. So we gave it a 3D little nose. Can y'all see it? I'm going to have to hold it because, of course, it's not dry. I'll move it really quick. How cute is that? Oh, Lord knows. I'm getting glue all over the place, y'all. All right. So, ladies, there is our vintage Santa. Again, go grab you this template. Come back, watch this tutorial, and you can paint one yourself. Thank you, Miss Faye. So let me lift y'all back up so I can see y'all. Y'all can see me before we get off of here. So it's always good to be able to see someone when you're talking to them. Even though I've got a nappy head today. Where I'm going to be like you didn't catch me at the beginning. In my Inside Scoop group that I have, we're going to have a Halloween costume party tonight. And I'm dressing up. And I'm going to be spraying something in my hair. So I was like, I'm not even going to wash it. So I just popped on here with y'all guys to get some painting done. Looking a whole hot mess like I got a beehive on the top of my head. But it's all right. So, hope y'all enjoyed this. If you have any questions, you can definitely, let me show y'all something real quick. There's something I want to, yeah, I just smear that. There's something I want to show y'all real quick before I hop off of here. This is something that I used to do with my Grinches. So let me scoot y'all back down. I love everything vintage, and you did a wonderful job. Thank you, Miss Latoya. Is that it, Latoya? All right, so I'm going to use my painter's pen for Walmart. I'm going to go just like around the edges on some. And this is going to kind of bring it out too with the vintage. And I used to do this with my Grinch hands, and I would go completely around him. Just on the edge. I kind of went too much on the edge there. But just like that. Can y'all see how I'm doing it? Like on the star. Really, it's really not showing up too good on the thing, but yep. He's cute. He's cute. All right, ladies. Y'all have a great day. Y'all have a wonderful, 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 wonderful Halloween. I will be seeing y'all sometime tomorrow. I don't know what I'm going to be doing yet. Tomorrow's going to be probably a pretty busy day with kiddos, so I will pop in to talk to you or to just might take y'all trick-or-treating with us. I don't know yet. Hey, Miss Reba, thank you so much. I do sell the pattern, Miss Bev. It is, you can go to TrinityCookDesigns.com and you can grab the template, the printable template there. That is where you will be able to print it out just like this. I do not sell the wooden blanks. But if you have any questions when it comes to cutting, or you know what, if you're interested in cutting and you want to be part of a group, my Inside Scoop will be open for Black Friday, and our official launch for the new year of 2021, because we're not going to like officially open it back up and like advertise it like crazy until 2021. It's going to be February. The end of February, the Inside Scoop will be back open. So if this is something you love doing, keep that in mind come February. Can we see it one more time, please? You sure can. And once it dries and I spray it and I put the wire in it. I will take a picture and post it on here too. So I'm just gonna kind of like hold it up kind of close. Yep, but that's him. All right, ladies, thank you so much. I enjoyed this so much. I appreciate y'all sticking with me. If you have any questions, just drop them down below and I'll be happy to help. So happy Halloween and y'all have a fantastic weekend. Talk to y'all later.